Welcome back to the Two Blues podcast and to another live match reaction from Chelsea 5, Shamrock 1, our final game of the UEFA Conference League group stage. Our final UEFA Conference League game of the year. We are unbeaten thanks largely to a Marc Guiu hat-trick in that first half. Excellent for him to get his first hat-trick. Not only in Chelsea colours, I believe in senior football. He didn't play too many games for Barcelona. Before we get into it, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Apologies, I think I can see a little bit of lag on the camera. I might be mistaken. The Wi-Fi should be good, but if there is a little bit of lag, bear with us. But yeah, a comfortable end to a comfortable Conference League campaign. We did not really look tested, apart from a few moments, scary moments against Heidenheim away, where we only won 2-0. I think we've averaged 4 goals per game in the Conference League and 5 tonight. A few, obviously, not just Marc Guiu getting on the score sheet, Dewsbury Hall getting on the score sheet as well. Who scored the 5th? Who else scored? I can't remember who else scored. Who else scored? Dewsbury Hall, Marc Guiu, Cucurella scored with his right as well, wouldn't it? Obviously, Cucurella banned at the weekend, or suspended, for the weekend's game. So, no surprise that he got in tonight, as Pedro Neto did before his game against Brentford. Oh, his suspension, against Brentford. Pedro Neto now back and available for selection at the weekend against Everton. So, no surprise he was not needed tonight. Madueke, obviously, pulled off at half-time as well. I thought Madueke had a solid game. I thought Madueke, particularly that assist, again, 2 great assists within the space of a week. And people, the main criticism of Noni Madueke is his selfishness, is that he doesn't always want to pass the ball, or doesn't, always seem to take the opportunity to square it when there is also a shot on. He seems like he is maybe a little bit of ego, but look, I've always said I can understand why he does have that ego, because he also has the quality to back it up. He talks the talk, but he also walks the walk. He does back his chat more often than not. And I know he kind of maybe dropped off in terms of his goal contributions after Wolves a little bit for a few weeks. But Enzo Maresca, very, very vocal in press conferences, to the media, to journalists, saying that Noni Madueke needs to do better. And when he has been dropped, the manager has been vocal as to why. And he cited his performances, his attitude in training. And Noni Madueke has come back into the team, starting to rack up the goals, assists again, but also starting to look a lot more selfless, a lot more happy to provide, rather than to kind of go for the glory and to claim it himself. And I do think the quality of delivery has been a lot better when he's taken a little bit more time, rather than thinking, you know what, I'm going to try and go and get a shot off, just kind of setting himself, whipping a ball into the box. He's put a couple of great deliveries in that have resulted in goals. And also, today again, Marc Guiu, his 3rd goal, great header, pick of the bunch. I know the first 2, you can't knock his work rate, but, not brilliant goals from a footballing standpoint. But Noni Madueke, I think the cross for Marc Guiu's header and the header was fantastic. But, obviously, and let me know who your man of the match was in the chat. If anybody disagrees with me, I'll be surprised. Marc Guiu, 3 goals today. I think it was 3 goals from 5 shots when I last checked. He is now up to 6 in 6 in the UEFA Conference League for Chelsea. 6 goals, incidentally, the same amount that we paid for him. He's repaying a goal per million so far in what we paid for him from Barcelona. And I've always said that Marc Guiu has the look of a player that will be sold, will be nurtured for a couple of years. We might get him a good loan. And then 6 million, we're seeing that as instantaneous profit. You can recoup that within 18 months, 24 months, similar to David Datra Fofana, David Washington, players that we've spent kind of sub or around 20 million on. And we're going to kind of try and look to recoup that within 2 years. I think similar story for Marc Guiu. For me, it's always been nailed on for that kind of path, for that outcome, due to his price. But you know what? If this player, his work rate, Chelsea fans have fallen in love with him for his work rate, for his intensity. He does not give anything up. And, sometimes he commits silly little fouls where maybe he doesn't need to, but that is because he's so eager, and that will come with time. He is only 18. He's going to be 19, I believe, in January or February. He's a very young player. This is very much his first season in a big squad. And I know it's not Premier League, but it's European competition. This will be a good level for a teenage Marc Guiu that's only played, a few games, a handful of games for the Barcelona senior side. And I think, I've got one friend who's a Barcelona fan, Jose Ferreira, Football Ferreira. Big up you if you're watching this. He never really rated Marc Guiu, wasn't really upset when he left, kind of said good riddance. You haven't really got anything on your hands to shout about. Listen, he's looked at times a little bit wild in front of goal. Particularly, I think there was one, I can't remember who it was against. I want to say Panathinaikos, but it might have been Noah. I can't remember who it was against, but he's missed a couple of fairly easy chances in the Conference League that have led a couple of people to go, oh no, this is another striker, can't hit a barn door with a banana skin. It's all about his work rate, his stamina, which is fantastic. But at the end of the day, you're a striker. You're on the pitch to do one thing, and that's to score goals. And Marc Guiu did that tonight, calm, composed. That second goal particularly, I thought was excellent in terms of his composure. It wasn't a great, it was an awful back pass, but it was great anticipation from Guiu to chase that down from the get-go, but also to have the composure to just touch it round the keeper and then finish it from a very tight angle. He's missed those chances before, and easier chances than that before. So great to see him improving week in, week out. It seems like once he got that first goal in the Conference League, his confidence has just skyrocketed. And while he's happy, while he's playing in this team, that is, all looking to get on the score sheet, all looking to help each other. It is free-flowing, attacking, exciting football because they have got the license. They know they've got the quality, and, all due respect to the opposition in the Conference League, they know they're going to have a little bit more time on the ball, a little bit more, more opportunities to show what they are capable of, to kind of, show off a bit, to give the crowd something to cheer about, get behind, and prove why they are a fixture in this Chelsea side, which is so competitive right now. These squad players are under no illusions that it will be very, very, very difficult to oust any of these starting 11, to kind of usurp their position in the starting 11. It's pretty much set at the moment. You've got a few, the wingers, pretty much battling it out week in, week out, but the majority of that 11 is fairly set now, bar injuries and a few players that are kind of out at the moment due to minor injuries, suspensions, doping concerns, whatever it is. There are, a few players that are still not yet fixed, or few positions, sorry, should I say, not yet fixed. But the majority of that team is very, very set. And these Chelsea players in this Conference League, I think, should be very, very proud of themselves. And although, yes, we were all saying it, bare minimum that we win this competition this season, it would be unacceptable to do anything but lift this trophy by the end of the year. At the same time, when you look at the squad, you look at the players that are coming on, Harrison Murray today, Tyreek George, Achimpong getting more starts, Raksaki getting more minutes. So many youngsters on the bench, Harvey Vale getting minutes again. So many youngsters getting opportunities in a European competition that otherwise they would not. If this was Europa League, we wouldn't be getting as many youngsters on the bench and on the pitch. If this was Champions League, we definitely wouldn't be getting as many minutes for these youngsters. So I think as Chelsea fans, we've definitely got to be grateful. We can't sit here and complain about a competition we're in. And you see people when I put out shorts and when I do videos talking about 5 wins from 5, how fantastic is it that we've won again? People come back, Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal, they're all coming around and going, Conference League. You're chatting about Conference League, mate. Really, and it's like, what am I supposed to do? Not comment on it, not be happy that we're winning. And, I guarantee they're not seeing the lineups that we're seeing in terms of Raksaki, George, Achimpong, Mueha on the bench. There are so many youngsters in this Chelsea squad. It's virtually unrecognisable from the team that plays in the Premier League. And yet we're supposed to sit here and be upset and sit here and supposed to be conservative about these performances. No, we're going to sing about it from the rooftops, man. I think this is, 13 now, unbeaten for Chelsea. It's now 7 wins in a row, 8 wins in a row, maybe. It's getting silly in terms of not being able to shout about our club. And I know we're kind of trying to stay grounded in the league and obviously taking it 1 week at a time, 3 points at a time. We're not in the title race yet. We're not title challengers just yet. I know we are trying to keep our ears to the ground, try and keep our mouths quiet, try and stay humble at the end of the day. We do not want to get ahead of ourselves, and we're under no illusions. This Chelsea side is probably due a drop in form, is probably due a bad patch. We are probably going to have one at some point this season. We know that we're not going to continue winning every game. It's not going to be this positive, this happy all season. We know that. And that's why we're trying to stay grounded, trying to stay humble. But small margins, small victories like these, like seeing all these youngsters come through, I've said for a long time, I say for a long time, my entire life, that Cobham is the best academy in England, if not the world. I think, you know what, doing some revisionism, I've always said La Masia, got to be up there. Doing some revisionism after I've done kind of some, I want to say research, but just deep diving on Twitter threads. La Masia ain't all that. Barcelona haven't produced some of the talents that we've produced. I'm sorry. Cobham is the best academy in the world. And you see managers like, I don't really like talking about Arsenal on these sort of streams and comparing us to them. Look, it's taken Arteta 4.5 years to introduce Nwaneri and Miles Skelly, who are both fantastic individuals and should have got looks in maybe a year and a half ago, if not 2 years ago. But the fact that we have 5, 6 youngsters getting minutes tonight. We played virtually a team of youngsters the other week against Astana. These players are getting opportunities that they wouldn't get at any other club. And it's testament to them, testament to their quality. I want to say shout out to every single one of the youngsters again that got minutes tonight. You did very well. Achimpong, I think in particular, I'm so glad that we tied Achimpong down to a new contract. That was so important for me and for so many other Chelsea fans I know. The amount of people that were making videos, Twitter threads, doing posts on social media about Achimpong. We recognize as a fan base, as a club, how good this kid could be. I don't want to say how special this kid could be, because again, we're trying not to get ahead of ourselves. And I don't want to start lumping pressure on a kid that's only started 2 games for Chelsea, that's only really played a handful of games for Chelsea Football Club in the first team. But at the same time, we have a track record for producing talents, and we as a fan base have a track record in, identifying which of those players have a great future. Look, Chelsea have an unbelievable track record with fullbacks in recent years, just to name a few: Reece James, Lewis Hall, Tino Livramento. Josh Achimpong could well be the next one on that. Defenders in general, Tomori, Gehi. We have produced some fantastic quality centre-backs, quality defenders in the last few years to break through in the Premier League, in Europe, across the world. There is no team, no academy making waves, making the impact that the Chelsea Academy is across the world. You look at, La Liga, you look at Serie A, you look at League One. There are players from Chelsea Academy performing week in, week out at the top level at top clubs. And it is, a testament to us, testament to what we are doing. But this project that they are building now, and, the fact that Enzo Maresca is so willing and happy to put his faith and trust in these players is, nothing but a testament to their quality. Tyreek George, I think, is an excellent player. He's overdue a goal now. It's got to that point where I've been saying for weeks, I love this guy. I think his quality, great direct player, great dribbler. It needs a bit more work, on his physicality, on his kind of all-round game, his decision-making in the final third when it comes to the first team. But when you look at him in that under-21, in that youth side, he's a phenomenal player. And if I'm not wrong, he's only 17 years old. The kid's got a great, massive future ahead of him. And minutes, starts like tonight, minutes like tonight, games like tonight, can't come often enough for players like Tyreek George. But yeah, for me, I think the standout tonight out of the youth lot was Josh Achimpong, who, again, so glad to have him tied down to a new contract. I think we can't understate the importance of keeping these young players, because, there were clubs like Real Madrid rumored to be interested in Achimpong. A lot of clubs start sniffing around when there are rumors of discontent, rumors that a contract may not be signed. But, we've got so many players signed for the next decade, locked in to this project. And thank God that we have, thank God that a lot of our fans have seen sense, and, we're starting to understand and see understand and recognize the Bowley, the Clear Lake project for what it is at face value. It is, look, we all know it was based on financial decisions. We all know it was going to be a case of balancing the books and a tricky couple of years coming out of the Abramovich era, an unprecedented transition for us Chelsea fans and for any club in world football. No club has been through what we have been through as a club, as a fan base in the last few years. And to be coming out of it with so many talents, both that we have signed and also in the academy. You look at the media that says £1.4 billion Chelsea, this 1 billion bottle job. This side should be winning trophies. They are squad value of over a bit. We haven't got a squad value of over £1 billion. You look at our Premier League side, it's probably a squad value closer to 500, 600 mil, which is shared, which the same could be said for Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Manchester United. They've all spent that much money on their main squads. Granted that we've got quite a lot of that on loan in the academy or in youngsters spread out across investments. But at the same time, name me another club that's bringing on 4, 5, 6 academy graduates in European competitions. Name me another club that has that luxury. Because you know what? We can sit here, rival clubs can sit here and whinge all they want about Chelsea spending and our squad size. The majority of our squad and strength comes from the youth and comes from an academy that is undoubtedly for me, the best in the world. The fact that we are able to produce these talents year in, year out, season in, season out, without fail, no matter who's at the helm, no matter what's going on with the management, transfer embargoes, we always have the safety of knowing that, we could get banned for the next 4 years from not being able to do deals. And I would have faith that what we have right now in our academy and our squad is more than capable of pulling out performances for the next 4 years without needing to dip into the transfer market. So, yeah, man, I think again, tonight is just kind of a larger, or tonight is a great example, of our larger campaign. So in the Conference League is fairly comfortable. There are still defensive frailties, defensive insecurities, particularly at set pieces, which, the goal came from a set piece. Our marking this season, and for as long as I can remember, really has been pretty terrible. This set piece coach that we paid 11 million for from Brentford or wherever, or how much it was, we need that refund because, send him back. I don't know why everybody's getting hooked on the set pieces, spending so much money on somebody that can't do their job seems very misguided to me. I can't understand it because there doesn't seem to be any sort of communication plan pattern to our set piece defending. I mean, we don't really tend to score from set pieces either, unless they are direct and Cole Palmer's taken them. But defending set pieces has been a weakness for a while for us. And it has, like I said, that's kind of cracks have shown throughout the Conference League and also obviously in the league as well. But it seems like whoever's in goal, whoever is at the back, there seems to be, we're not 100% rock solid yet, even against teams like Shamrock Rovers, all due respect to them. We should be keeping a clean sheet tonight. So disappointing for Jorgensen as well, who made a couple of great saves before that goal. I'm sure he'll be disappointed that we didn't keep a clean sheet tonight. But, on the whole, as I've said throughout the Conference League, on the whole, very, very comfortable. We knocked the ball about very well. A lot of those players, we'll be frustrated not to be getting more minutes in the Premier League. But at the same time, if these guys are going to walk out and lift the Europa, the Europa Conference League trophy at the end of the season, I don't think they could be mad. The performances they're putting in so far, they could be proud of. The one player I think had a little bit of a drop-off tonight, Christopher Nkunku. I know he got an assist, I think just one. Was expecting him. I know Guiu grabbed the headlines with that hat-trick, but Christopher Nkunku, I think, will be disappointed because, him and Jackson have had a great battle this season. I think very healthy competition, keeping each other on their toes, keeping each other scoring, keeping each other good and honest as well. But yeah, Christopher Nkunku, needs to keep scoring if he wants to have a say. And, I've been saying for a while, he's right to be pissed off. If he is, rightly so, because I think anybody with his track record, with his goal scoring ability, believes they should and could be playing in this Chelsea first team Premier League week in, week out. he's not really having the impact. At one point, he had the best goals to minute ratio in the world, let alone the Premier League. Coming off the bench every time, 10-minute, 15-minute cameo appearances, scoring 1-2 crucial goals. But he's gone from that to then starting scoring in the Conference League. He's not really having that impact off the bench in the Prem anymore. And also, dropping off in terms of the Conference League. I know I say dropping off, and obviously it's just tonight, but I'm just fine margins in this Chelsea side. I suppose it's a good thing when we're calling out these minor, I don't want to call them issues, but minor insecurities, minor frailties in this Chelsea team. I suppose that is a really positive thing, because we're running out of things to moan about. I definitely am as well. As a negative person, I can't even really be mad about Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall tonight. Someone that I last week sat here and just whinged about for 90 minutes. I thought his bursting runs into the box, very much like Enzo Fernandez. Wouldn't be surprised if Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall's been taking those steroids that Mykhailo Mudryk, he's been slipping him some of that super soldier serum, because he can't get in the team either. But who knows, man? Listen, it was a better performance from him tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if there's, maybe a talk of getting rid of him in January. I think maybe it'll be next year, because we're more likely to offload kind of players like Casaday. You got Ugo Chukwu potentially coming back in the fold. Got to find another loan for him if we do bring him back from Southampton. But it'll be interesting to see what happens with Dewsbury-Hall in January. Obviously, we'll do more transfer related content as we get closer to January. We've got a few games to cover before then. I will be going to the game, the Fulham game, hopefully on Boxing Day. But other than that, you'll be getting match reactions every single game on the final whistle, as always. But yeah, man, let me know who your man of the match was today. Obviously, I'm assuming it was Marc Guiu for everybody. Fantastic for him. Like I said, 6 goals now in 6 Conference League games for Marc Guiu, the same amount of goals as the amount of millions that we spent on him from Barcelona. So fantastic for him. It is his night very much, but also the Chelsea youngsters. Josh Achimpong, so glad to see him back. Tyreek George, Harvey Vale, Murray Campbell, I think, got his debut tonight as well, which is absolutely fantastic. Raksaki, more minutes for him. Another great few stops for Jorgensen. He continues to breathe down the neck of Robert Sanchez. Let us know, is there anybody that's pro Robert Sanchez in the chat? It's very rare that I come across a pro Robert Sanchez Chelsea fan, but I'd love to hear from you if you are there. And if you don't like Jorgensen, if there's anything you don't like about Jorgensen, let me know. Because like I said, man, I don't think I've met a Chelsea fan that's had a bad word to say about Jorgensen. But yeah, man, quite a few people watching. Make sure to like the stream, guys. This is a live chat as well, live stream. So make sure to get involved in the comments. Drop us a comment. Let me know what you think. What's your predictions? How are you feeling about this Chelsea side, man? Another win. What's that? 7 on the bounce now? 8 wins on the bounce. We're dominating, man. No team. I don't care who we're playing against. I don't care if it's Conference League. We played the youngsters tonight, and they, performed another very, very comfortable performance in a European competition, which is not something that any other team can say, to be completely honest. But yeah, man, make sure to like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Cole, appreciate you joining, and everybody else as well. Cole says, if he can become better at distribution, Sanchez could be class, but a lot of his decision-making on the ball is also questionable. Yeah, the main thing I don't like about him is the hospital balls, the distribution, particularly when defenders are facing the goal. They got their back to play, and he just fires a ball into them, and they got a man about 2 yards away pressing him. He's not very good at passing the ball out and sensing when to just put it long, sensing when there's too much danger to be messing around with the ball at the back. But listen, man, he pulls out big saves in big games. His shot stopping, I've never doubted. I think his shot stopping is something that I've always said is very, very good. His ceiling is very, very high, but his floor is also very, very low. So it's one of those where I don't really like, the average is not good enough for me. I think he makes too many mistakes, too many errors leading to goals, and he's just not safe enough with the ball at his feet, man. This Enzo Maresca side, I love everything about it. The way that we play, the way that we build from the back, fantastic. But I just don't feel like you can do that successfully and comfortably with a goalkeeper like Robert Sanchez. We need an Alisson, we need an Edison, we need a David Raya. Arsenal have found their long-term goalkeeper. We need an Emi Martinez. All the top sides in the Premier League, of virtually all the top sides, have found their goalkeeper. We still need to do that. We still need to find our long-term goalkeeper. But apart from that, it's all very positive in the Chelsea camp. Everything is good in Stamford Bridge right now. But yeah, Everton at the weekend. I'll be finding out Mr. C Money's availability. Hopefully, I'll be dropping a Loan Watch episode tomorrow. Mr. C Money will also be dropping, hopefully, a Chopping It Up with Charms episode talking about tonight's game, talking about Mikhailo Mudrik's Super Soldier Serum situation. But yeah, apart from that, Two Blues podcast on the Instagram, on the TikTok. Guys, just do us a favor. Make sure to like, give us a thumbs up. Doesn't take any time, doesn't cost anything. Just drop us a thumbs up on this vid. Appreciate everybody that's watched. Appreciate everybody that has tuned in. It's nearly Christmas, guys. We're going to bring you some fun Christmas content as well. Some live streams. I'm here all Christmas, all New Year. Like I said, January transfer content. Let us know what you want to see. If there's anything you want to see in the comments, obviously we'll be doing videos. Who should Chelsea buy? Who should Chelsea sell? What needs to happen for Enzo Maresca's Chelsea side this transfer window? But yeah, either way, keep up to date on the socials. Everything will be announced on, like I said, the Instagram, the TikTok at Two Blues Podcast. And yeah, tell your friends, tell your mum, tell your dad, tell your nan, get her to tell her friends, and everyone down at the care home, get them down watching Two Blues Podcast. You can listen to me. I'll put anybody to sleep. I could talk about Chelsea for hours and hours. So, slap this on when you're going to bed. A little bit of white noise. Should I say blue noise? Therapeutic and all that. Wasn't like this last season, 2 seasons ago. I was effing blinding, hating on the squad, hating on everything that was going on. But you know what? It's all positive. It's all good vibes around here, man. Good vibes. You know what it is, man. Love to everybody. See you very, very soon.